everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about The Good Doctor Series 1 episodes 14 and 15, my review as an autistic woman. And I hope you've been enjoying the playlist, which I'll link down below in the video description if you haven't seen these videos, and I hope you enjoy. So let's start with episode 14. In episode 14 we see Dr. Murphy dealing with a patient who's currently going through deciding to be transgender, and he basically assumed that the patient is a boy when in fact the patient is currently still a woman. The episode is actually called She, and the doctors actually tell Dr. Murphy that he should never assume a medical decision about a patient without having their consent, which is, I totally understand, I totally get that, it's accurate, and you should never ever assume a medical decision without being clarified first by the patient, their family, or another medical professional if you are around such a person. So I can understand where that could have caused medical negligence and other issues with amongst other staff members. I totally get that. But again, one other thing that I noticed as well is that all the staff in this program are very against each other. They're very much in competition who can get the job done quickest, who can get paid the most, who can get the hospital president job kind of thing. It shouldn't be about competition. It should be about patient care and levels of respect for the patient and their family, and getting the right treatment, diagnosis and support offered if they need it. Obviously with Dr. Murphy, he sees things in a totally different way because of being autistic on the spectrum and also being a savant. So again, his world is a little bit different than the other staff members who are the neurotypicals, which are people who aren't disabled or identify as having a disability in the program. Also, that he feels that the doctors don't tend to have patient care, and he lets patients and doctors know that they're not doing their jobs properly. And you have to be very careful what you say in the medical field, because if you're trying to dictate to other staff members and to other people who you may have an issue with, then it may cause medical problems with communication. And as someone on the spectrum, I can identify that it might be very hard to talk to people, especially when you're not sure what to say or how to say it. Also, they need to be focused on the patient outcome and the patient treatment at hand, not being about targets and money and who can get the highest person and whatnot. And in this episode, we also Dr. Murphy communicating with a new neighbour for the first time. As somebody communicating with a stranger for the first time can be quite overwhelming. You can get sensory overwhelm, anxiety overwhelm, physical overwhelm. And the fact that Dr. Murphy, again, has to go and communicate with a patient who wants to be a girl instead of a boy, but the parents and grandparents can't agree on the best way of treatment for her. And they, in the end, end up making her come back when she's of legal age to have it done, because the girl is a minor, and they basically said that they're not sure if she's aware of how this surgery could affect her, so they don't let her have the surgery done. They make her come back when she's an adult. So yeah, communication again is crucial through medical procedures and medical teamwork in general. And as someone on the spectrum myself, communication is very hard when you're trying to be someone who's different and neurodiverse and you're not sure what to say or if to say it. So let's get into episode 15, and this episode is called Heartfelt. Again, we see Dr. Murphy on the bus with headphones on as to block out the noise. Dr. Murphy is meeting his new doctor, Dr. Parks, for the first time. Then he goes to talk to Dr. Melendez. Dr. Melendez should let Dr. Murphy introduce himself rather than introducing him as the autistic doctor in front of his teammates. Dr. Murphy should have been able to self-identify himself and tell people about his autism himself rather than it being told for him, which I totally agree, because again, it's very ableist. It's very like, oh, look at you, oh, look at our doctor, he's autistic. And it's like, no, let him self-identify himself. Let him introduce himself. Don't ever speak for an autistic doctor. Do not ever think it's okay to introduce someone who is on the spectrum, because you don't give them value. You're demeaning them and devaluing them. So that was wrong in all aspects of that. And then they get to meet a new doctor called Dr. Resnick. And Dr. Resnick is very undermining. She undermines Dr. Murphy to quite a degree that she treats him like a child. Well, is Dr. Murphy capable? Does he have the mental compassion? Does he have the mental capability? Is he going to be trusted? And I'm like, you don't know the guy. You've just met him in this episode. Like, you have no right. You have medical judgment bias. Don't judge someone that you don't know. You don't know what he goes through. So that really annoys me, because it's like, oh, well, he's autistic, you know. No, don't do that. And I think she's very arrogant. I think she's very deliberately rude, saying that Dr. Murphy uses his autism as a crutch to get attention. I don't think that's the case at all. Dr. Murphy is very, very different. He's also an autistic savant, which means he sees things in a more logical, deeper, fun way than the neurotypical person. And again, a neurotypical person is someone who is non-disabled. So again, that really pisses me off. It's like, well, he's autistic and boo-hoo, he's disabled, and, you know, we have to look after him. No, you don't. Just support his medical decisions. He's mentally capable, physically capable. As long as he can get the job done, then leave him be. Don't judge him based on a medical condition that he has, because you don't know how he communicates. And then we see him Dr. Murphy in a social situation where he's sensory overloaded, he hates noise, he hates crowds. And I feel that this is all down to lack of communication and training. Let me know what you think down below. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!